All right, everybody. Welcome. Road back to Philly. What episode are we at, Dan? We at
Number
6
8.
or 7? 8? We are at episode 8. That's like a world record for me, everybody, right? All you fans out there, all you people, 8 episodes in. We're looking good. I gotta admit it. I was feeling kind of depressed, and as soon as I hear that theme music, it just cheered me up, Dan. It brought me into podcast mode, or maybe I should do the whole podcast depressed. Do you ever have those days where you just wake up depressed? Do you have those?
100% do.
Oh, good, because that's what I had maybe the last 2 days coming in. But we got tour dates coming up, so come and see me live, everybody. That always cheers me up big time. We got the 16th of July. That's pretty soon, and back in Medford at the Studio 67. Then the 26th of July, we're going to be in Stone Harbor. I say we, is whoever my opening act is on that show. It's always an opening act. We. 26, Stone Harbor, New Jersey. Then we go into August 6th. Look at me going by memory. August 6th, we're going to be back in Medford. Then the 7th, they just added a show because the 8th is almost sold out in Hammonton, New Jersey. So now it's the 7th and the 8th in Hammonton, New Jersey. I guess I sell well in Hammonton. Who knew, Dan? Who knew? Told
That's
there's
good.
a lot of Italians there. A lot of Italians in Hammonton, so they're coming out. They see the vowel at the end of the name, and they just go, fuck it, let's buy tickets. Thank you, Hammonton.
You just
Thank
threw up
you.
the onions smell led them to you.
Yeah, the onion smell led him to me. Dan Rubio over there. Give it up for Dan. Give him a nice round of applause. My sidekick, my producer, and my co-host. It's like you have a new angle every episode. Is that a new angle?
Yes.
It is a new one. I knew it. You're looking this way. Yeah, you're not looking this way.
I put my actual camera, like my fancy camera, so I can like go wide.
Oh, you got a different camera. So this is like higher def. You're higher def right now.
Well, it just has it's not a webcam. It's actually my actual camera.
Your mic sounds shittier.
Oh wow, savage!
Now
I was
sounds
testing.
all right. But
No,
I don't know if I'm feeling that mic stand coming straight at your
No,
face vibe.
listen. I need to get a different mic stand. This mic stand is like it like booms in, and I need one of those low profile ones. They didn't have those when I first got this mic stand.
What
But
happened
this is
to the
a
one
freaking-
you've been using every week?
This is the
That's
one I've
been
been
good.
using, but the problem is that I have it on my webcam, and I'm using my actual camera and it's off to the side because I have two big ass monitors on my desk.
Oh my God, Dan, I guess we're finding out everybody in life needs a personal assistant. We're at that time where no one can cover all their own shit. We're all doing we all have like, especially Danny, I think you have like 30 careers right now. I mean, you're like a
I do.
producer, the video guy, you shoot people's stuff. You'll go to their wedding and film them if they want to hire you.
I actually
right?
don't
You
do
all that
weddings.
shit.
I have a hard wedding rule.
Really?
If I
Oh,
do
tell us.
weddings, okay. So here's the thing: is when I do weddings, it's always the weekends. So I made a decision to have a family early, and I was like, okay, well, I can make money doing video, but if I do weddings, I will only be known as the wedding guy, and I didn't want that title. I was like, I don't want to be known as the wedding guy. I would much rather do boring stuff like for corporate gigs than do a wedding. And I will tell you that because I think when you do weddings, I've done a couple weddings in my life, often for friends, but every single time I do, it's always a nightmare. I don't care how prepped you are. There's always something that and you can't like, if you mess up, you've messed up. And to me, I just didn't want to deal with that. I didn't want to do the weekends. I didn't want to deal with the pressure of like having to make sure everything's there. The logistics of all the camera angles that you might want to get for coverage or to get whatever. Now there's some really amazing like creators that do wedding films like amazingly, and I think that's kudos to you. That's not my bread and I don't want to do that.
We get it, Dan. We get it. all I thought of the whole time we were saying there, because I guess I'm narcissistic. When other people talk, I think, how does that relate to me? What's my version of what Dan is
Sure.
saying right now? But I
Yeah.
do, at least I'm listening to what you're saying,
Yeah.
right? And all that I thought about was that weddings are your cruise ships for me. Like it's the same thing.
100%.
And I'm sure everybody watching the podcast right now or even listening, that'd be a good one for you guys to write into the show or leave voicemails for next week's episode, which the voicemail, can we pop that up on the screen some way? People, you've been lacking on the voicemails. This past week, we didn't get it. We didn't get that many voicemails, none that were usable for the show. It's always the same. It's open 24 hours. You're not calling me. It's not my voicemail number. It's a Google Voice, and it's 914-721-0008. You can always leave a message for the podcast. Be a dickhead. Leave a trolling message if you feel like it. I get those in email form and I just delete them. So I always say you're just wasting your time. I never heard your message. I read, hey fuck face. I'm like, all right, delete. So go leave us a voicemail. It can be on topic or it could be off topic, but usually it's going to get played on the show if it's a Philly, South Jersey subject. But that's a good one. Do you have a thing in your job that is like a comedian doing a cruise ship, or like Dan said, he's a video, he wants to make short films, and corporate stuff is low level, but still way better than going into a wedding. Unless though, Dan, are you like me? What, like if someone called me and said, we want you to do a cruise, I'd be like, I don't want to do fucking cruises. But they were like, it's a $20,000 gig. I'll have to suck it up and figure out how to go out on a cruise again. Like, you get a $20,000 wedding, you're going.
Yeah. I mean, the only time I wouldn't is if it was like I knew that it was gonna be a freaking nightmare because like I knew the person or whatever. They're like, Danny, I'm gonna pay you 20,000. You can do whatever you want. But I know that the individual was gonna be it was gonna be a nightmare. Nah. I would
Really?
give up $20,000
Good
because
for
I didn't want to.
you. Good for you. So you're saying that they're at like dude, you're so similar to me. If the person's nice, I'll actually do it cheap sometimes. Like
I do
I have
too. Yeah.
yeah, I have a private gig coming up. Um it's somewhere in Red Bank or in that area. It's a Jersey Shore gig. It's like for all these people that are members of this boat club of some sort, but it's not like a really high end rich boat club. It's more of like we got little boats. We're a bunch of guys. It's an Italian guy doing it. So I know it's going to be a bunch of Italians that own little boats and they're part of this club. And the guy who hired me is the one of the guys that helps run the Emmaus Theater that I do every
Nice.
year. I could do it 2 times a year. Like the guys are so cool that run the Emmaus Theater in Emmaus, Pennsylvania. Shout out to you guys, Robert. Shout out to you. He's so fucking cool that I, this is pathetic. That he did give me a really low price, and I said, "Dude, $100 more, I'll do it." And he bumped it up $100. But and out there, if you think you're going to call me and you're going to get me to do your fundraiser for a low amount, I'm not. There better be a really good friend connection there for me to do it. But this guy, like I said, major. The guy's amazing. The nicest guy fucking ever in maybe my 35 years plus of doing stand up. He just treats you so well.
Yeah.
So that goes a long way in our jobs because we're creative people. Just be nice to us and we'll work cheaper and we'll do our. Another thing I hate, do you get this in your job? There used to be this guy that used to hire me. I'm not even going to say his name. Johnny Lampert. I just said it. Johnny Lampert. Not going to say his name, Johnny Lampert. You know what he would do? He would hire you. He used to love to do this. He'd go, dude, I need you to kill at this one. I need you to kill. Don't go do any of your new stuff. That's what he would say. Don't do. I need you to kill. I go, Johnny. Every gig I get, I go in and try to kill. Like, there's never a gig where I'm like, let's hold back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go. I'm going to do all new shit for 30 minutes at this corporate event.
Yeah.
No. And it's the same as baseball. Anyone who plays sports, don't you hate it when someone goes, don't pop up when you're about to come up to bat? You're like, dude,
Yeah.
don't put that in my mind. A real athlete knows that there's certain things that get you like in the zone, and there's certain things that take you out of the zone. Is there anything
for
like
sure.
that when you're filming or editing or whatever, that if someone says it to you, it just annoys you and it takes you out of the zone?
Yeah, my biggest issue is when they say they'll give you control and yet they sit there and they'll micromanage you. So, uh, like they'll off or like, hey, did you get that shot? That I've already asked them. Hey, I always ask people when I'm on a shoot. Hey,
What do you want me
is
to
there like
do?
a hero shot? Is there a shot that we call like is this Jimmy's shot? I had a client that was it was always Brad.
Is
He
this
always wanted
Jimmy?
an over he always wanted an over the shoulder shot of the product. So every shoot that I went on with them, I would always end up doing an over the shoulder, looking at the product, doing a nice little like side movement to get a nice feature. And so there's but every client that I have, they always have some kind of thing like that. And when I ask those things and then they're always double checking that, I'm like, listen, if you don't trust me, don't hire me. Like,
Exactly. That's what I want to say to him. And it's like because I'm friends with the guy, I used to say to him, "This is as a friend. If you
mhm,
want the guy you hired to do a great job, lay off, and he'll
yeah,
do a good job. He's not going to do a better job because you told him to do a good job. That's going to make him actually. It's going to work in your against you because it's going to make him go. What the fucking guy's telling? Why? It makes us mad at you." You don't want to
yes,
get a creative person mad because
no,
that's when we're not going to try. Why are you pissing me off?
yeah.
Shut up.
Speaking, uh, I
I
have
don't
my
mind
one
you telling me
topic.
what to wear, but that's it.
I have one topic that I wanted to bring up with you.
Hmm.
So you have a pretty good relationship with your parents. Can I say is that true or is it like is it a mixed bag?
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah, I have a
It's
mixed
a
bag with my
one day.
parents.
If I'm there for one day and leave, fucking amazing relationship. 2 days, I always used to say that to my friends. I would go, because they would always go, "Your parents are great." I go, "Stay for 2 days in a row, and then you'll start to see the dysfunction and why I'm a comedian." And after three
Yeah.
days, they're like, "Oh, dude, I know why you do comedy." They're fucking a pain in
Well,
the ass.
yeah. Well, so I think I mentioned that we were thinking, or I had mentioned to you that my wife and I were like, oh, you know what? Maybe it's time that we go into a bigger house. We felt like maybe it's time for a change. My
Hmm.
mom has this house that I grew up in that's been
Is this
empty
on
for
your
like
subject list for today's
this is my
episode?
one thing. Yeah, this is the
Okay.
one thing I was gonna. Well,
This
get
one's
this
on
out of
your
the way. And
mind.
then,
Okay. This is Dan. By the way, let's tee this up. Dan's first subject on any of the episodes that's about his life. We've come to
yes,
that where it's you guys love
we're there.
Dan. They want to hear more about you. So this is good. Okay. Share it.
So so my wife and I were like, I knew my mom. My mom had offered the house to us like a year and a half ago or something, and we were
Hmm.
like, we were thinking about doing it. We said, okay, we're gonna do it, and then we went and
She's going to give
but we
you
were
her
like,
house?
no, she was gonna rent it to us,
Okay.
and
Well,
we
who
were
was in it?
nobody. My mom had just
It's
moved. She got
empty?
married and she just moved out, and
It's just
so
sitting
I
there.
was like, and so this was a couple year and a half ago or so, and we were like, okay, we're gonna do it, and then but our kids were old enough; they had their own rooms. We had a really great school, and we're like, you know what? We went there, visited, and we're like, I don't know if they were redoing construction, and I was like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to my the place where I grew up. I don't want to do with that. And it was just like, I don't think we're getting anything. Like, yeah, we get a couple extra rooms, but like, we don't need them right now. We weren't planning on another kid, so we decided to pass. So flash forward to now, we now have a third kid, and we're like, maybe some extra room could be nice. And the house is still empty, so we went and visited it. And I was like, Mom, listen, I've been thinking about maybe I wanted to ask you if we allow us to like live in the house,
Hmm.
because I think it could be it's empty, so you've had it empty for a while. She's like, yeah, I was thinking about that too, and then I did have to tell her that I had lost my W-2 job and that I'm just freelancing right now, which I love way more. And
Hmm.
she's like, oh, she's a very big worrier.
That's what my
But
mom is. Yeah.
I started asking him like, okay, what do you want to do? How much you want to rent? Blah, blah. And she got like way clammy about it. She was like, oh, I don't know. I can charge you this much. I can charge you this. Finally, we just finally decided, like ultimately one of the biggest issues that held us back in the first time and ultimately here is that like, even if we rented here, it would still be my mom's house and she would judge us for every little shit. I talked to my sister because I'm like, hey, do you think this would be a good idea? And she's like, well, you're gonna have to take care of the house. I'm like, I'm a 34-year-old man. When you say I need to take care of the house, what do you expect me to do? Create the next Jackass movie in this house with my kids? I'm like gonna like bring a wrecking ball and tear down the whole house? Like I don't understand this.
Most
So
people in
ultimately,
create, I hate to say this, but most people that have creative jobs, once in a while you see these people that become hugely famous and they thank their mom. My mom's been behind me my whole career. And then there's the other end of the spectrum, which is Michael Jackson, who just got the shit kicked out of him his whole life by his dad. So it's
yeah.
like, but usually if you're in this field, if you have a creative type job, mom and dad fucked up a little bit. They're a little bit, what's the
Or
word? They're high maintenance.
the other comments,
Okay.
or I mean, they did allow you to have that creative job. So I think there's a level we have to credit them to
They,
that.
they love
But
us. They love us.
yes,
But there's a reason why we didn't go the regular route of life, which is go to college, come out, get the job, and get the benefits. Blah, 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 blah. Dude, like I don't think I've never had medical benefits in any of my careers my whole life. My whole life I've never had medical.
yeah.
Thank God for my wife with the medical
Well,
benefits.
I always say like most men who are doing something amazing, or they either did it before they had wives and they then were able to bring their wives on, or their wife supported them the entire way. But my whole thing is like, I don't know. There's this level of like, especially, and I think you're right. The creative, a lot of these individuals, like your parents aren't they, if they are supportive, that's awesome. I didn't have that. I love my mom to death.
Right.
But I'm
I'm
like,
the same
and I
way.
finally asked you she's like, I'm like, listen, mom, if you're not gonna rent it, if you're not gonna rent it, well, she said, this is her words. She has two kids, me and my sister. My sister has her own house, and she lives up closer to her, and I'm renting, but I don't care about renting or owning really. But she's like, I don't want to rent it to family. I'm like, I'm the only family you're gonna rent it to, so you don't want to rent it to me.
Like a third cousin. I can already stop you right now if I was like your therapist and giving you advice. You don't
Yeah,
want to rent. You don't want to rent off your mom. I
no,
can already
we
tell.
didn't. That's
If she's
ultimately
picky, forget it.
yes.
Like
Well, and
my
she's
mom,
not gonna rent it, and so I told her, just sell the house.
sell it. That's fine. Give me a piece of the money in the will. Whatever you're gonna do, give it to me then. But don't. It's like there was a time where I lived with my mother-in-law, with my wife and my two kids when they were. My daughter was like 6 months old, and my son was
Yeah.
really under 3. We did it for about 6 months, and then we hit that wall. Like I'm living in the house with I can't do this. I don't know how families are out there. My wife's middle sister's been living with my wife's mom, with her husband and two kids for 3 years now to save money for a house. And I don't think the houses are just so expensive here in Westchester
Expensive. Well,
County
just
that
everywhere.
they're gonna have to stay there for 10 years to afford a house here. They would have been better off just staying. I would have stayed in the apartment that they used to own. I would have just lived there with the two kids, put the wall up in the 2 bedroom and made it a 3 bedroom. Done. I gotta have my own space. I can't live with somebody's mom. There's no fucking way. Sex is
We
hard
did.
enough in a marriage. Can you imagine throwing the mom? Like it's hard enough when you got the kids in their bedroom. Even if you have anyone knows that you're married, you could lock the door 19 times. Your wife's not going to really want to have sex when your kids are awake and they're on the other side of the door, unless you
Yeah.
got a whore wife. I got a normal wife. She's not wanting to do that when the kids are home. There's no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You got to go get a hotel and stay out for the night. So
What,
is there anything more to that story
so
except where did
no.
it
So my whole
go?
thing is, well, when is that I'm not moving, which is fine because I just redid my
Smart.
studio and I'm benefiting from that. But just that parents. What my mom's biggest quirk that drives me up the wall is that she has ADHD 100%, but she's undiagnosed and she 100% needs therapy because she's still dealing with a whole bunch of baggage. But I wanted to know, is there a thing that your parents, that every time when you stay for a second day, that you're like, I can't handle it? That, like that
Like
drives
what's the
you.
trigger that gets
Yeah,
me like I got to get the fuck out of here?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well there's a few of them. It's like I say to my mom a lot. I'm like it's like playing a tape recorder. I'm like you said this at day 2 the last time I was here, which is they either bring up religion And why aren't my kids,
Joe,
you
you need
know,
some Jesus in your life. Listen,
well, well,
if you ever need
like
Jesus,
how's
Joe,
my,
I'll
she
send
bring,
you come over to me. I'll help you out with Jesus.
well, her big thing is that if your kids didn't make their sacraments, they're not going to be able to get married in a Catholic church. And I'm like, we don't care if they get married in a Catholic church. We didn't, my wife and I didn't get married in a Catholic church. Do you understand? I'm I'm 58 years old. Do you understand yet that I'm not religious? I'm just not. Let it go.
Yeah.
Stop trying to change me. So that one's on the top of the list of your kid. And then like her talking to me about my son or daughter the way she used to talk about me that made me a
Mm,
comedian would make I used to pick up my dinner at the dinner table growing up when she would go on her tangent of negativity
yeah.
and just go eat alone in the basement. And then every time it comes up in therapy now, my therapist, he's like, "Because you lived in the basement." He would always say that to therapist. It's because you went to the so you he it's like a metaphor. He'll go, "So you went to the basement in that argument, like as a 58-year-old, you're in the basement."
It's
So
hard finding a good therapist. Oh,
I got a great one. I've been seeing him for
it
over
sounds
20
like it.
years. He's phenomenal. Alan
That's awesome.
Lefkowitz rocks it at therapy. There's another shout out. Shout out to the therapist. You can't even get in. That's how good he
Yo,
is. Like you can't even get in.
yeah.
He's booked. I don't know what I'm going to do when he passes away because he's getting up there. He's in his late 70s. He's probably 79 right now. That's scary, man. Guy's the best though. He's my Robin Williams.
Oh,
He's
for
my
like
Good
Goodwill
Will Hunting.
Hunting, he's
Yeah,
like your guy.
that's what he is. Yeah, he
Yeah.
says I love you to you at the end of therapy sessions. He used to hug
Nice.
me when I would go in person. I've been going virtually since COVID and never went back because his office is laid downtown in Manhattan. It's an hour drive in traffic and then get a ticket on your car. It's just too much, so I do the virtual. But
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right, back on track. And this is to show you how ADD I am. I remembered that I gave all the plugs at the beginning of the show,
Yeah.
but I never said go to joematarese.com to get tickets. I never said that. Did we put that on the screen? Was it on the
I
screen?
did in post.
Oh, in post it'll be up there. So it doesn't matter if I say joematarese.com. It was there, everybody. It was there. So that's a good one. That's a good one. Geez, now you're making me want to bring. I should go to my parents because I got a few subjects here. So what we talked about a couple episodes ago, it might have been last episode. I get them all mixed up in my head now that we're doing them every week. My parents went on the cruise, right? They came.
Yeah.
So check this out. They didn't even know how to use the internet on the cruise.
Yeah.
But
I figured.
another one of the reasons why I'm a comedian and another annoying thing my parents have done my whole life is idolize my brother, the youngest.
Ah,
Is your mom
yeah.
really good to one and shitty to the other? Because that's what happens at
Well,
my house.
if you talk to my sister, she thinks I'm the idolized one uh, because like I got married like correctly and I still go to like
You're still
there's
religious.
that. I'm also idolized by my mother-in-law and father-in-law because like I'm doing good because I take my wife and my kids to church or whatever. But like like I'm also like Hispanic, and it's a miracle that I even have a good career as a creator. They were like very
Mhm.
worried that when they found out that I was going to be doing videos and marketing for a
That
career, they're like,
scares the
because
shit
he's a
out of me.
farmer, but he was like, like, oh, you're going to be able to do something with that, and but there's been
Mhm.
other things in the family that's fine. So like, but I'm like, I don't think my mom idolized me or my sister. I think she just worries about both of us. She doesn't look at us as adults, so I don't know.
Well, because my brother is the idolized one, he
Yeah,
actually got a phone call from my mom and dad while they were on the cruise, and they didn't even know how to do the Wi-Fi. They had a free Wi-Fi with their package that they got. They got the
sure.
full package where it was like all inclusive, which is stupid because they don't drink that much. I'm like, why'd you get all inclusive with the internet? And I think it was just so they could eat in like four of the restaurants and it would be included. That's all they had to hear. They're like, food, yeah. And I'm
Food.
like, you're gonna have two Coors Lights the whole trip and you paid for that and you don't know how to use the I go, do you understand you can hand your phone to the people at the front desk and go
Yeah,
set this up for Wi-Fi and then they'll hand
yeah.
it back and then you could talk, but there's no way they're going to learn how to put WhatsApp on their phone at
No
82 and
way.
83 years old. No way. But they can text. They missed Father's Day. I couldn't even wish my dad happy Father's Day because he was on the boat and he didn't know how to use his freaking Wi-Fi.
Wait, did your parents call your brother on Father's Day? So they only wish your brother father a happy
Yeah.
Father's Day?
Yeah, they called him once and told him how the cruise was. And I don't know if it was Father's Day, but it probably was. Never called me. I got nothing. He gets the fuck it. One fuck it phone call goes to him. It's like when you go to jail, you get one phone call.
Yeah, yeah.
They just did it really fast, thinking, "Oh, that won't be that much. Watch it be $100 to talk to my brother for 2 minutes and go, we're
Yeah.
alive. Bye."
Bye.
So, my mom, when she finally came back, texted me, "We're back," and it just said, "Had a great time, but one and done for me. She never wants to cruise again." And this is so my mom. My mom lies. She won't
Okay.
give you the truth. She never
Yeah.
and she says one and done, and then just scrolls off 10 great things. And I'm like, "What do you mean one and done? Everything you just told me was fantastic." She's
Yeah.
like, we had a great time. Bermuda was beautiful. The seas weren't that bad. The restaurants were a 10. She goes, "I give them a 10. I think they went on a Norwegian cruise out of
Okay.
Philadelphia to Bermuda to Charleston, South Carolina, back to Philadelphia. That's the
Sounds like
cruise,
a good
7 days,
good
right?
cruise.
They had some sort of Groupon of some sort. They didn't do the research. If they would have just talked to me, they were the oldest people on the cruise. Everybody was like
Oh,
more my age with like
yeah, yeah,
kids
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
My mom doesn't get along well with she says stuff like that. Like she's annoyed if she's in a vacation spot and there's
And
babies and
there's
kids.
babies and kids, yeah.
And I'm like, then go on the cruise with the all old. There's so
Oh,
many cruises out there where you're not
yes,
even allowed to bring a kid. Go on that,
correct.
you cheap
Yeah, yeah.
fuck. She tried to like sneak her way in because she's cheap into the that'll be good enough. We'll be fine, right? We'll be fine.
Yeah.
So she says she has a great time and says one and done. And then my brother calls me when they got back, and I go, "So did you talk to mom and dad?" He's like, "Yeah." I go, how was it really?" And he goes, "It was pretty good they said they had a good time. And mom only had one fight." That's what she said. I go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. What do you mean one fight? Who's she getting a fight with on the cruise?" And he goes,
Just
Mom, right? My mom can't shut up. Like growing up, if someone made noise, like our neighbor had like a son who played the drums. Whenever he was
yeah,
playing the drums, she'd be annoyed, right?
yeah,
It took me living away from them for maybe 20 years to start to normal out, be married
yeah,
to my wife. Like I
yeah,
used to
yeah,
be
yeah.
like that. Like I had a bad neighbor in my first house and I
Yeah.
couldn't dude, I had to move. I was so annoyed that I like built a fence. Then I was ready to put high bushes so I don't have to see his disgusting house. I mean, this guy had an overly disgusting house. Like
Oh, get one of those.
weight bench on the front porch.
Oh,
Yeah, weight bench on the front porch. I'd never seen that one before. And then the indoor couch on the porch, like outside the indoor couch. Son smoking cigarette. His son was always smoking cigarettes out there. Real white trash kid. And they had a dog that they kept in the backyard. They never brought him in. It could be negative 10 degrees outside. They never brought him in. So their whole backyard smelled like dog shit because
ugh.
he was out and it would like bleed. We'd have a barbecue and I'd be like, "I fucking can smell the dog shit. I can't stand this guy. I gotta
Oh, the
move."
OCD was really hard on that one for sure.
Yeah, dude, it took me a year to sell my house. Everybody would look, and I'm meticulous, so they'd come through our house and go, "This house is so nice. It's so clean and meticulous." And then they'd come to our front porch and they'd look left and they go, "What the hell's happening over there?" And I used to say, "If it makes you feel better, they're nice people. They're just dirty. I don't know what to tell you. They're nice. They just don't care." And we finally freaking sold it. Took a year. I lost 150 grand on that house. All the money that I made on the
Oh,
Hoboken condo, all of it, back to zero.
lost.
Back to
Yeah,
zero. Um, but so the fight that she got in,
yeah.
you can see it coming. So this is the fight she gets in. My brother goes, Mom, my mom and dad are really good dancers, but not like
Okay.
not like this kind of dancing. right?
Like this kind of
Like
dancing, like the
not
foxtrot over there.
not salsa, like
Oh, swinging,
they can swing like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, they can freaking do all that
like
spin shit.
West Coast swing.
I don't know what's that. No, oh, like Swingers, like from the West Coast, that movie. Yeah,
Or
kind of
no,
like
yeah,
that.
there's
Jitterbug, I guess you call it,
yeah, the
right?
jitter, yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, the jitter.
Jitterbug.
Yeah, well,
They're yeah. They grew up doing that. They grew up in the 50s. You know, my mom, they're 82 and 83. My dad was born in 42. So he grew up with all that shit. So they're dancing at about 10 o'clock at night, like right at their bedtime. Because I asked them, I said, how late did you stay up? They go, we went to bed at 10. I'm like, who goes to bed at 10 on a cruise? Like, I stay up till 3 a.m. every night on the cruise because then they bring more food out. At midnight, they open up the buffet again. Now you can drunk eat. Like that's the fun of going on the cruise. But you know, they didn't get drunk. So my mom and dad are dancing, and some kids were on the dance. You know, kids love to get on the dance floor, right? At
of
like 10
course.
o'clock. My mom leans into the mom and says, why aren't your kids in bed? We're trying to
Oh,
dance out here. And I'm like, uh, you know, one of those, as soon as you hear it, you're not on your mom's side. I'm not on my
yes.
mom's side in this. I'm
No.
like, I'm on those people's side. I'm like, shut, mom, just fucking deal with it. It's a cruise. There's 48 places to go dance. If you want to go, leave. She's me, though. I mean, I've had that in movie theaters where a guy's being really loud and I'm just yelling. And by the end of the movie, I lean to my wife. I go, could I have just switched my seats and not sat with you because that guy was being loud in the movie? She goes, yeah, I wouldn't have cared if you went and you can move away from the
Yeah.
people that are bothering you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're on vacation, or have a couple drinks and you won't mind. Stop
Right.
staying sober on your cruise. Have five
I think
drinks.
that my mom, that's one of my biggest things when older individuals will they parent people who they shouldn't be like you have
Parent
no
other
right to
kids.
you can't you I think I'm a firm believer that every parent should parent their own kids the way they feel that they should be parenting,
Hmm.
and every parent has to deal with their own shit. And so
Good point.
when you're out, when my mom tries to, she'll come to the house and she'll start to, I'm like, mom, you do not like the mixed, Hispanic culture naturally is that like a lot of times, abuelas, abuelos are often ones that help to, care for the younger ones. Now, I have no problem with that, but in our home, we've made it
What do you
very
mean
clear
an
that like,
abuelo or abuelos? Like it's like a
so
grandma or
like grandma,
grandpa
grandpa,
help?
so grandma, grandpa, like will, so a lot of times, like, especially when they come to the States, grandparents, if they're here, often help to raise kids because parents are often working, right? They're working two
Hmm.
three jobs or
Hmm.
whatever, or they're single and they their mom's here, so they're helping raise those kids. Even in Mexico, there's like a lot more that familiar. I'm sure Italians are like this, right? You have your grandma there, you're close to family, so there's like a little bit more of that communal family relationship that might have there. That's great. My wife and I have we parent our children very much in the realm that like we see them as independent little people that are in our care, and we want them to be raised and to learn independence as much as possible. And so we allow them, we say,
You let
we
them
ask
do
for their
stuff.
opinions. Like, I don't care
No,
if they're, 3 years old or whatever. I'm like, hey, we'll ask, like, do you want to do these things? I didn't grow up with that, very much not that perspective.
it's amazing how
So
good of a dude you are from what you're telling me of your upbringing. You
yeah,
rised up, dude.
yeah, I don't know what it is. I guess, I mean, my mom did, she tried to, both my parents, my dad worked really hard. My mom, did a lot. My dad was always working. So she basically raised me alone. Cause my dad was always working. And so, but ultimately my mom she'll come and try to like, she'll come and start parenting. She'll be like, Danny, and she did this to me as a kid too. She'd be like, Danny, Amelia's very skinny. I'm like, mom, she's fine. She eats when she needs to eat, and you don't need to worry about that. Or like, with losing W2, but I have freelance. She's like, Denny, are you keeping your budget? I'm like, mom, you don't need to talk to me about finances. I'm an adult. I will deal with my finances if I need to. If I do need any help, I'll call you.
Dude, this is how I'm so similar to you that everything you're saying, and I don't, maybe everybody's similar to you what you're saying, but when I was just starting dating my wife, and back like just before that, I had the development deal and some of the money and bought the condo and all that stuff. Um, dude, I had like a Roth IRA in my
Nice.
mom's name. My money was in her name with my name. Like we had a account together. And when I
Oh,
started,
okay.
I think I would just proposed to my wife. I think we just got married, and then she noticed. She goes, "Why is there an account here with your mom? We're married. You need to get rid of that." And I was like, "Oh." Like I was so, used to that on top of it. She did everything. So that's why I suck at doing stuff because she wouldn't let me be independent. Like it's good that you're
Yeah,
letting your kids do that. Let your kids go. You got to let them do shit. Like
for sure.
my son's girlfriend isn't allowed to do much. And I don't want to talk about her on the podcast, but she's just not allowed to do much. And we try to just, some of these parents out there, they don't even want their kids to go far, to go to college. Like, and far is like over 40 minutes away. They're not allowed to go. And I'm like, you should, it's so bad to not allow your kid to go to college where just pick the best school they can get in. That's where they should go.
It's interesting you say that because like I didn't know this when I was going because like one, I didn't even think I was gonna be able to go to college. I picked the trombone specifically because someone said you might be able to get a scholarship with the trombone, and I said, well, maybe if I just stick with it long enough, I'll be able to get a scholarship. Because I was like, my parents aren't gonna be able to pay for college, so like I gotta figure something out.
Right.
And I didn't even apply to any other college except for the one college that I got into, and I later realized that it was just like they accept everybody because it's one of those like it's not a community college, but it's like it's like a commuter college, so they accept everybody, and it's often for non-traditional, so people who are professionals later in life or have families or whatever. So like that's kind of there. Where I didn't go to a college town college like BYU or University of Utah.
But you probably could have, is what you're saying,
I
but you just
probably
didn't
could
because
have,
your
but I
parents
never applied.
handcuffed you.
Well, it wasn't that they handcuffed. I did feel like this responsibility of like, I shouldn't leave too far. I'm like the oldest son. My dad had left. I was like, maybe I should be around to help be available for my mom. The other thing is like it wasn't like I didn't. I think there was a little bit of like I don't know if I'm smart enough for any other college. Like I'm like whatever. I was like if I even get to this college, it'll be a miracle, and we'll go from there. But I probably was. I'm also Hispanic, so they probably would have been like, hey, we need to hit our racial diversity quota. Let's give this kid a scholarship.
I've never been your therapist, but I can already tell you need to stay an hour at least away from where your mom is.
Yes.
Don't be, like my wife notices when we go to Cherry Hill or Philly area too long and I'm with my family for more than 2 days, it starts to bleed back in my personality.
Yes.
And she
Yeah.
gives me that look like all the work I've done is is relapsing. You're being fucking anxious again, or you're like
Yeah.
it starts to
Yeah.
bleed back. You got like I realize, oh, that's why I live 2 hours away. So row back to Philly, people. If I move back there, it's gonna have to be after my parents aren't alive anymore, probably. I mean, they're in their 80s. If I go back, I gotta wait till they've passed away
Yeah.
and I can start fresh in that area.
I mean, you
Yeah.
did say in 5-ish years.
Yeah, but that they could. My dad would be 87. In 5 years, he's 88. You never know. Look, what just came up in the news this week and amazed me. It was like was it Mel Brooks, Dick Van Dyke, and who else? There's somebody else hugely famous who just turned 100. There was an article. It was about Mel Brooks, Dick Van Dyke, and one other guy that I just didn't recognize him. I'm like, who is that? Maybe he was a writer, and I didn't recognize him. And it wasn't
George
the guy who
Burns.
created All in the Family and all that, because he passed away a few months ago, or maybe like 6 months ago.
I'm looking it up. Anyways, all
Um,
right. Well, what's your other? Sorry, I might have derailed your topics. I just good.
well,
And it
that
is.
was
I think
it. I
there's
was just
definitely
like I said. I was on my, and I didn't even get. I didn't even get to hear my dad's side of the story. I'm dying. Like right now, if we could make phone calls and we were doing a real radio show, I'd be like, let's get my dad on the phone and let's hear his side of the story. Because my dad is the opposite of my mom. He's very happy-go-lucky, right?
sure.
He's like, I've never seen that. He's never in a bad mood. My dad, never in a fucking bad mood. Just very happy-go-lucky. I doubt kids bumping into him would have bothered him on a dance floor. It's not like they're in
Yeah.
a dance competition. He wouldn't have cared. He would have just been laughing. Like my mother-in-law's that way. She's so happy-go-lucky, and that's the reason why my wife's pretty a chill person. And I'm this way because my mom's getting in fucking fights. So, yeah, it's bad. And I hate that about my personality when it comes out. I don't want to talk about it too much, and I know it's interesting, but I got in a fight. Almost got in a fight last week.
Wait, last week?
Yeah, I almost got in a
At a
physical altercation, and I felt bad
was this at
about
your
it
daughter's?
afterwards.
Was this at your
At my
daughter's?
at my
But your
softball game.
softball?
Did I ever talk about a guy who I just kind of butt heads with? There's one guy on the team.
No.
Everybody else is super cool, and I just really get along with everybody. It's one of the reasons I'm still on the team. But there's this one guy, but he used to go away for the summers because he would work at a summer camp. So he would
Sure.
leave the team, and I used to love it when he wasn't there because him and I butt heads. And I lost it, dude. Like when I lose it completely.
Yeah, I do too.
You do too?
Yeah, I don't do it very often because I'm not.
I don't
I'm not
either. I didn't think it existed in me because I stopped taking Adderall. I thought it was an Adderall thing. I was like, oh, I haven't been in one argument since I got off of Adderall, which is like, it might be 2 years now that I haven't taken any Adderall. I just let myself be ADD, which I've said in the past. I got into car accidents because I'm not on Adderall anymore. My attention stinks. It's bad when I'm driving. I drive with no radio now. No radio, no podcast. I just drive in silence. Because I'm like, they weren't bad accidents, but they were enough that like one more and my insurance will go freaking skyrocketed. I can't. So
What are you doing? Like juggling while trying to write like your next show while
no, dude.
talking
If
to
there's
your
a
daughter?
podcast on and I'm really into it, I'll just be so into it that I forget I'm
Oh,
driving.
you zone out. You like
I
zone
zone
out.
it. I get into the
Yeah.
podcast like I'm in the world, like I'm sitting in my couch watching a movie. I'm gone.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, yeah.
smacked into the back of a car, going slow, but it was still like if I would have had
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
radio on, it wouldn't have happened.
I mean, it's interesting because like I haven't lost it in a long time, but I do. My wife and I wouldn't get mad at my wife, but I would leave and I would storm out, and she hates it when I do that. Because it's not that I think it's similar to like I went to the basement. Part of it's just like I
went
had
to
to
the
walk away from
basement,
my
dude.
mom's like my.
Going
like,
to the basement is way better than getting the tire iron.
I
Way
agree.
better.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, but there's a couple times when I was a kid. I remember one time. Anyways, it's been a long time. I've never been on Adderall, and I work. Sometimes I'm like, how far could I go if I didn't have ADD? I mean, I'm pretty organized. I'm pretty good. I'm not as meticulous, as detailed. Like, I don't get zeroed on like small things, but I do have the superpower of being able to like go deep on something and understand it. But I do wonder. I'm like, how far could I get with my business if I wasn't like having the ADHD thing? But I
you
was
should
worried
watch
about the side effects of Adderall, of like whether that be it takes away my like my juju, my like
it
my
does.
mojo of like, and I think that's
It
I
makes
just
you
never.
like this, but you're locked. So if you just only take it when you're doing busy work where you don't need that, you don't need your
Sure.
personality. You can be like
Yeah.
fucking in the zone doing work guy. It's fine. And if you're alone and you're not dealing with others where you could get in an argument with somebody, it's fine. But if you're on a team-based job and you take it, I don't know how it will work out. I wish you could find it on the internet because I saw it this week. There's a famous writer. I wish I could remember what he wrote. He wrote a big movie, and he has something else coming out soon. And he says that Adderall or ADD is his superpower, that he doesn't medicate it on purpose because he says he's an amazing writer because he locks into that. He goes, I could be sitting in a crowded, loud airport and I could write 10 pages of a movie script and it'll be perfect. Because if you're creative and you're writing a creative piece, Adderall would hurt it. It wouldn't have the heart that it could have when you're on ADD.
Yeah. See, and I think that's
I wish
part
I could
because
figure out who that guy was.
I'm looking to see if I can. Someone recently?
You'll never. Yeah, I saw it this week. It was on Instagram. Doesn't matter.
Is it Simon Sinek? No, you said a filmmaker.
It was a writer, filmmaker guy.
Oh,
and he
I
was
don't know
on
if
a
I'm
he
a
was
fan.
on a popular podcast, and then I'm bad
Anyways,
because I have ADD. Don't know what podcast that was.
yeah, yeah, it's okay.
So, do you have
Well,
anything else? Anything else was
no,
on your list for your life, or just that one? Just you and
that
your
was it.
mom? Just you and your mom. All right. So I had Philly cruise that they came back from, and I wanted to ask you about this. This is the last topic. Was this Saturday is 4th of July, right?
4th of July,
Yeah. So my wife planned this big 4th of July party for
fun.
all her friends. I didn't invite anybody. None of my friends are coming. These are all her friends or probably her family and their husband and their
Sure.
kids. None of my friends were invited. And I only invited one dude, and he couldn't make it. So, but it's going to
It
be
was me, guys.
it's
He
going to be
invited me, and I couldn't make it.
you couldn't make it. You couldn't fly in. It's going to be 100 degrees
Oh,
and thunderstorms, right? So I said to my wife, I go, you got to cancel
100.
this. I go, we can't. It's going to be an indoor party, and I said, I don't know if our air conditioning is strong enough to handle when you have a lot of people over. It gets
Yes,
hot,
yes. Well, and
especially
if
if
you
you're
were cooking
cooking
all
food
day,
in the kitchen
yes.
too. I go, our air conditioning can't handle 100 degrees and 35 people in our living room and dining room. It's not going to be. I'm like, I said to her, how many people did you invite? And she goes, I'll tell you later. And she hasn't told me yet. I wanted to move. I'm like, can we move the party? I didn't know what to do. There's no way. I can't test my air conditioning to know if it's strong enough. We have central air, but it's added on central air. It's two zones, so it does do better on the first floor. But I'm
Yes.
like, did you ever have a barbecue where the whole thing becomes indoor? Is that I go, I'm not sitting out there at the barbecue grill at 100 degrees. Everybody's gonna have to bring pre-made food to this. It's gonna have a.
Let's see here. We have the Freedom Run. Oh, sorry. Those are. Hold on. Well, I would totally grill even though it's 100 degrees because I
You would
like
grill
grilling.
at 100. That's because you live on the other coast, dude. You've
Yeah,
never
but
been in
dude,
humidity.
well, I have been in humidity. I lived in Boston or in the East Coast for
Okay.
2 years,
Did you ever
and I lived in
barbecue when you
Memphis.
lived there?
Yes, I did.
In 100 degrees.
It's no, I don't know if it was no, not in 100 degrees, but
100
that
degrees,
would suck. That
straight
would suck.
humidity.
Yes, there is. It looks
And
like the
you weren't
Atlanta versus.
58 years old at the time. I'm going down
Uh,
if I'm out there.
yeah, you have heat stroke, stepping outside the door.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
you do
getting eaten
have
alive by
Cubs versus
mosquitoes.
Cardinals.
No, we're not watching that. I do have the
Rockies
MLB thing where I could watch any game, but we're not watching a freaking Cubs game. No one's going to care about that.
Rangers, Red Sox. I mean,
There's probably
so
some World Cup. People will pretend they're in.
yes, World Cup games.
You're making me think I should just tell my wife, hey, text everybody. We're still having the party, but it's going to be at the Smokehouse in New Rochelle. We go to a restaurant and have it where they have unbelievable air conditioning. Let's go there
That's what I would
because
do it.
it's not
Or
going
do
to
you have
work
like
here.
do you have like
Or
an
we're going to
HOA
have
that
to
has
have
like a
intervals. Some people come between 7 and 8, and then they leave, and then the next group comes from 8 to 9. They're like, we can't have 40 people at one time. We're gonna freaking die. So we got some good Philly, South Jersey news topics here to round out the episode, to finish it out here. As you said, episode 8. The first one, Dan, that came up here when I said Philly, South Jersey news. 3 people were injured in a brewery town fireworks-related shooting. What is a brewery town? Do you
That's what I
know?
was wondering. You were reading this to me right before the show, and I was like, "What is a brewery town?
There's a
Is
million
it just
towns
like
with breweries.
I know,
What's
like
a
well,
brewery town? Who knows?
is
Sa-
it is it like people live with their breweries? So like there's like the families are up, breweries downstairs, family upstairs.
I don't know. Maybe they have so many breweries that they call them brewery towns. A brewery
Maybe.
town fireworks related shooting. An argument reportedly escalated into gunfire, leaving multiple victims injured. Police are continuing to investigate as the 4th of July holiday approaches. That came up as a big news story in Philly. Put my glasses on for the rest. How about that? I mean, fireworks. I don't know. Are you a big firework guy, Dan? Do you love fireworks? I've never been a big firework guy, but I had
I
friends that
enjoy
were.
going. I enjoy going to fireworks. I wasn't a huge
But how about
fan.
shooting them?
Yeah, I don't mind doing it. I'm not like doing it. I'm not always going out there every year. I'll do it like every couple of years. I'll like get the itch to like go get a whole bunch of stuff.
Can you buy them easily in Utah? Because here
No, for the
you gotta
no,
go
you
somewhere to
no.
get them.
Yeah, we have to leave to Wyoming. I think it actually might be a little bit better. And I think they did change some classification because so many people were doing illegally. Like you couldn't do actual pop, huge, bigger fireworks. Um, so that was part of it. Is that like for many years you couldn't do it. You'd have to go
Well,
illegally
when
get
we
them
grew
from
up, you
another
either had
state.
to go to south of the border was the big one down in South Carolina. When
Uh,
back in the day, people would drive to Florida on vacations. You wouldn't fly; you would drive down, and you'd stop at south of the border. And I had a friend when we went down. We were like 18 or 19 down for spring break. We went to Daytona, and he bought
nice.
the bricks of fireworks. You know those bricks of fire. He was addicted to this shit. Bricks of
Yeah.
firecrackers, bottle rockets, and then at Fourth of July, he'd come over to my house. He lived two doors down, and we were teenagers, and I used to love sticking the fucking bottle rockets in the wiffle ball bat, and just you shoot it right down the street. And when you're
Yeah.
young, you're
Yeah.
like, it's gonna blow up a car if it goes underneath the car. I used to think that you're gonna blow up a car, dude. Man, those were fun. But I never, you see guys now on the internet, they get the Roman candles and they hold them in their
Yep.
hand and they're just like, I'm like, I never did that. That looks fun.
I
But
did that.
I'm
Yeah.
too paranoid, man. I think I'm going to blow a thumb or a finger off. I'm not fucking with that shit. I don't even like
Yeah. My dad was.
rides either. I'm not a rides
Yeah.
guy.
Me neither. Actually, my, I can't even get my kids. I'm so much of a not right. I think it went in my children's DNA. My kids will. We go to like the carnival where it has like the little itty kitty beater kid rides, and they're like, oh, that might be fun. My kids will like freak out. Don't even take it. Don't joke with me, Dad. I'm never going on it. And I'm like, I'm not even. Don't look at it then. Don't look at it.
Well, as I'm looking at this news story again, there's something funny that it says fireworks related shooting, like that fireworks turned into gunfire.
Yeah,
What
I was trying to think. It is it that
you
like
got to hit
they
somebody
were
in the face with a firecracker or something for
easily?
them
I
to
was like,
pull out a gun.
something happened. They like it misfired or it like hurt somebody, and the guy got mad and pulled out his gun and started shooting.
And lunatics in these
That's what you
brewery
can't.
towns. All right, let's go to the next story. We got SEPTA's transportation plan is getting good reviews. That just made me laugh. I never knew that SEPTA ever got good reviews. SEPTA is the South Jersey, Philadelphia trains. The SEPTA. That was the
I was
big
gonna ask
joke
you.
growing up. Was yeah, I took the train. SEPTA. It was late. They used to say SEPTA was like the big hacky joke. SEPTA. It smelled like dog piss. The Broad Street line has handled large crowds well. I guess the oh, I know why they're talking. They're talking about it connected with the World Cup because
Yes.
and fans continue to receive complimentary rides home after Philadelphia's World Cup matches thanks to a partnership with Airbnb. I didn't even know about this because the big news story was that the trains going to MetLife, where the Giants and the Jets play out of New York, that they raised the prices to be $160 like one way if you had a World Cup ticket. So now, I mean, here's the thing, even if you're giving free SEPTA and you're getting good reviews, people that can afford, I hate to say this, people that can afford to go to a World Cup match are loaded. It's like being
Yes.
able to afford to go to you know, a Knicks
Cannes
game when
Film
they were in
Festival
the
or something. Yeah.
championship. Yeah, it's like a $3,000 ticket, so you can
I
afford
know.
three. So you got rich people behaving. Ooh, they're getting good reviews. Yeah, wait till the fucking people that piss on the floor are back. Sorry, I'm sounding very negative here. I want to see SEPTA get a good review when none of this high end shit's going on. When it's just a regular week in February when it's 14 degrees outside. That's when I want to see it. What
Right.
other? Let me go to another one here. Okay, I thought this is the last subject here on the news, but this one is Philadelphia should absolutely go after more international events. So I guess they're saying, it was really good for the city to have the World Cup there and how great it was. They should go for more international events, but only the ones that fit Philly's identity, which is funny. Not every global event belongs here. Philly is not Vegas, Miami, or New York, but when the event has history, sports, toughness, crowds, patriotism, music, food, or working class passion, Philly can crush it. So it's saying their sweet spots. They say World Cup level soccer. So maybe they'll bring more soccer to Philly.
Do you guys have
International
do you guys
boxing,
have
it
a soccer
says.
team?
What?
You guys have a soccer team?
Dude, you're talking to a guy that lives 2.5 hours away from there. They must. Of course they have soccer, but I know there's a soccer stadium somewhere like right on the other side of the Commodore Barry Bridge. I couldn't tell you that town near Chester, Pennsylvania. Somewhere over there, there's a soccer stadium, and I heard it's really fun to go there. But
Union,
I wouldn't say
Philadelphia Union is your
the
MLS
Union.
team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how well they draw or anything like that. They probably do draw. It's a big international sport, so a lot of international people, that's what they go watch when they live in America, and I think that's cool. And I think it's cool for Americans to go watch that. Like another thing that I'm jealous of, you see all these internet posts during the World Cup showing how their fans
Yes.
are behaving all around, like the people in the
Yeah.
subway doing the rowing.
Yes.
Those are they the Norway people with the?
This. Yes. Norway or no, Scandinavia, something like that.
I was
One of
just,
those two.
dude, I was jealous. I'm like, these people are finding fun that they created in their mind. I'm like,
Yes.
look at that. I'm like, an American, do we know how to go fucking let's sync? Could you imagine America? All we got is the wave. That's all we can synchronize in the stadium. But you think we could synchronize the wave on a
Well,
subway ride?
I was
There's
thinking
no
about this because
way.
there's no way. The other thing is like Mexico. So after every game, or if they win the game, they sing like a super like iconic song, and I can't even remember the name of it. But it's like sung by this like famous singer. Anyways, the entire stadium like knows the song,
It's
and they're just
incredible
like,
when that happens.
I'm like, I just was like, I'm watching these clips from Mexico in Guadalajara, which if you've never been to Guadalajara, is like it's such a cool city. It's more city. It's a little different than Mexico City. It's got a little bit more art culture. I think
Hmm.
Joe, you would love it. I
I
think I
probably
went
would
there.
love it.
Amazing food. That stadium that they're playing in is did a remodel, but it's awesome. It's where, anyways. So, but seeing
Any
these
places
videos
that
and
have that kind of passion, I always love. I mean, that
yes,
is what Philly does have. It is
yes, you guys have
cool
passion.
that we have that thing. Like Philly people will, you know. I had a moment of it, but ours is usually negative in America because I went to two Phillies Mets games this past weekend in New York,
Yeah,
and the first one, uh, some guy got kicked out of the stadium for holding up a sign that said "Fire Stearns," who's the general manager of the Mets, and
yeah.
everyone in the stadium that was behind him, not the whole stadium, but I'd say 1,000 people were going Fire Stearns," right? And the cops went up to the guy holding the sign, ripped up the
Yeah.
sign, and then he wrote,
Escort them out.
and then he made a smaller one on a different piece of cardboard and wrote Fire Stearns on this little one. And then they were chanting again, and they went up to the guy and they kicked him out of the whole freaking stadium. And I videotaped it, right? When he was getting kicked out, and I posted it on my Instagram and my Facebook and my TikTok. And only because my brother-in-law, when I sent it to him, I go, "Look what they did to this guy," and he goes, "You should post that. That'll go viral." So I posted it, dude. It got about 175,000 views on my Instagram, and it got like 1,000 comments. Right?
Yeah.
You know, and that's the only time we do something together in unison is asshole. It's like a negative. Like I'm trying to think of what positive things besides the wave do we have that says we're American. There's not a lot. I mean, we might chant a player's name at once. We'll do that. But let's be honest, Americans, it's usually a negative one.
Yeah.
You yell like, I
Yeah.
remember
We
there
get more
were
passionate in negative things. Yeah.
on
Which is just
negative.
crazy. Yeah.
To come up with something fun and just do it in another country and then have it become this global hit. that's just fucking cool. I'm like,
Yeah, it
that's
is. This World
that's
Cup,
why
it
you
just
need to go
brings.
watch international sports more. It's fun to watch people from other countries what their behavior is. It's
Or
interesting.
even just like go experience other cultures. I think this is one of those things. I say this. My wife and I had a big conversation that when we first were like getting to know each other better, and we, as we started to realize we wanted to get married, is that like she came from a place that was culturally ignorant. Because, and I think this country definitely like is many benefits to live here, but I think in a world that we live in today, too many people are too siloed, and not only physically but also online, and they're not exploring enough uh, that is different than what they are comfortable with. And I think that's something that you need to have. And I think
Yeah,
this is
you
where
need to be
comedians.
uncomfortable to end up having a really great time where you talk about the trip. It's like when I went to Israel. That's the most uncomfortable trip I've ever
Oh,
been on,
I
and
can
it's the
only
best
imagine.
trip I've ever been on. So going out of your comfort zone does something. Some people go, "Yeah, but you could die." I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, but you could die anywhere you go. The plane can
exactly.
crash anywhere you're going, right? But you do need to stretch yourself. That's why I'd like to live in Europe for a year and
Yeah,
try it.
yeah.
Just like try, before you only get one life, so go do it. Go fucking
Go
take
do it.
advantage of that.
Send it, bro.
Send it, bro. We're getting positive on this podcast. Where's this one going? So, so the other sports. Well, let's go to don't chase. It says here, go after World Cup soccer is what they should have. International MMA, rugby, Army Navy style national events, big music festivals, Olympic trails. I don't know what that means. Olympic trials, Olympic
Trials.
trails. I'm
Trials.
such an idiot. Olympic trails, international baseball events like that. That international baseball was so fun to watch. When that was incredible. The World Baseball League is great, and then huge history, independence theme events. Cool. It says don't chase these events, generic luxury events. I don't know what would you consider that. What's a generic luxury event?
Probably like probably like runway stuff, like fashion. No, that's still
I'm
international.
trying to think of something that's like a generic, really high end luxury event. What's
Yeah,
like the Oscars? I mean, I don't know. What's a generic luxury event? Fake.
I don't
Here's the
know, dude.
fake influencer festivals. What the? Yeah, I don't. I'm not a fan of these negative festivals. You see some of those, and I don't want to shout out in my
Oh,
comedy world. There's some of these that are like but they band together there, and they're all fucking negative. That's what they have in common.
oh yeah,
So they're like, but it's positive because we're all fucking losers and we're all negative, so it's positive. But I'm like, you're doing negative shit though. Like you're doing fucking drugs and you're fucking, hating on and being anti whatever and
yeah,
like
yeah.
one thing that was really cool that I watched over the week. I watched Will Ferrell has a documentary on
Oh, he does?
Netflix.
What's
It's
it
yeah,
called?
it will Will and something, whoever the guy. He had a best friend who becomes trans in real life. It's not a
Oh,
scripted movie, it's a documentary.
Will and Harper.
Yeah, Will and Harper was a writer on Saturday Night Live when Will was there, and he was one of the head
Oh,
writers. And he's trans, and now he's the first time really hanging out with his really close friend of 30 years as he's transing, and they take a road trip across country together in the movie. And it was well done, and it was interesting because it made you really feel like you were watching someone who's trans and what they really have to go through. And like people need to see that shit. Like it was one of those I'm like, I get it. It's not a comfortable situation when people
sure.
are trans and you're amongst them and you're in conversation with them, but you we do need to figure out a way that it's like what am I going
Yeah,
to it's like what you said, stretch your horizons. So that's what
yeah,
I said to my wife. I'm like, let's watch this movie. Let's see what it's all about. And I'm
yeah.
like, this really we learned something watching this,
If
and
you
that's
if
good.
I have another recommendation for you, then
What?
if you like that, you might like. It's called The False Prophet. I think it's what it's called. That one's it's like 8 episodes, or no, 4 episodes or something like
What's it
that.
about?
Trust me, The False Prophet. It's about this polygamous cult outside of in.
Shit.
It's crazy. It's crazy. We couldn't stop watching it. We literally watched all episodes in one night. We started at like 9:30 or 10 o'clock, and we couldn't stop because we just like had to understand the story. Really well done. It was the woman was phenomenal. Anyways, and I think it made me super uncomfortable, and it made me question like ask a couple questions. But I think that's really healthy for individuals. And I learned early when I was young and I was on a mission.
You can't be like
Yeah, I learned that there is
I'm
no
afraid.
growth. Yeah, there's no growth in a comfort zone, and there's no comfort in a growth zone. So like if you want to grow, you're going to be uncomfortable. That's the result of growing. Why do you think muscles, there's no pain, no gain, right? That's the other way of saying it, right? But at the end of the day, you cannot get better or grow as an individual, as a person, as a comedian, as an athlete without bombing or sucking up a edit or, like those things. You have to feel those things, and you will recognize it as you grow when you look back at things. Oh man, that didn't go well. I know now to learn and what to, X, Y, Z. Anyways.
Like you having to edit this episode down to an hour. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be challenging, but it's going to be, you're going to gain from it. You're going to gain from it, Dan. This is going to be a good one, everybody.
I'm going to charge you an extra. No, I'm just kidding. I'll send you
folks,
my bill.
I think that's the wrap on this episode. We covered a lot. News, we covered everything. We covered our lives. Oh, my God. Boo, boo. Tune in for the next episode. This is a great time to cue the outro music, Dan. Yeah, there we go. There's our White Shadow theme. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, listening. Road back to Philly. What's going to happen? What's going to happen when my daughter graduates? She's going to high school now. She finished 8th grade, by the way. She won 4 awards at that award ceremony, by the way. Did we talk about the awards? We weren't sure what the awards were going to be. She won 4 epic awards at that award ceremony. One, which was like being a helpful person and being connected to the community. That was a really good one. But then all the other ones were like how she just... it's a really high GPA, and she's in all the smart classes, and she's kicking ass. She has my wife's brain, and she's so lucky that she has it. She's so smart, got her shit together. Shout out to my daughter, Willa. Kicked ass. 4 awards, everybody. So happy summer, everybody. Enjoy your kids being home. I'm going to be sleeping late every day for the next... forever. I found out I don't even have to drive my daughter to school anymore now that high school's starting. So I'm going to be sleeping in, and I might be divorced because I'll just be sleeping till noon, and my wife's going to be like, "You're a loser." Call you.
Joe, wake up!
Joe, get up! Yeah. So go to my plugs again. Come and see me live. We got all those dates coming up. They're right here on the screen. Come out. I'm not going to say them all, but come out. Medford twice. That's a good one. Come to that. JoeMatarese.com as always. Follow me on social at the Joe Matarese. Follow Dan at Rubio.tv. Rubio. And that's it, everybody. Have a good one. Peace.